welcome back to the channel. We're getting into some of the big boy pirates now, the most famous of the bunch here. And who should we start off with than none other than Edward Blackbeard Teach. So let's jump in. It's actually going to be a bit of a two-part video because you can actually field him as a fighting man or character upgrade as well. So let's jump in with the main character though, right? Because that's probably who you're going to want to run most of the time. So he can lead either the Golden Age Pirates or his own custom force, Blackbeard's Men, which we've covered both so far. So for 32 points, right, he's going to be a big investment, so not any small games or anything like that. But he's more likely than not going to be well worth it, right? Race of pistols and standard melee weapon, 12-inch command range, and the 3 command points. So far, A-okay. Nothing to worry about there. And then just a slew of abilities. So we've got Bold, right? A theme for pirates here, so he can always use command points, normally even if his unit is shaken or if he's engaged in melee. So he's going to be always issuing orders when needed, and that will help keep the force in the fight as long as possible. He's also cold-blooded, so he has Ruthless, and then any unit that uses a command point from him to fight or shoot is also Ruthless. So again, a lot of the pirate units or the units that you field might already have Ruthless, but it's just nice that you can essentially dole that out on command. And obviously, if his unit's acting, they're going to be Ruthless as well. So basically, another one of those abilities that essentially confers another ability. But yeah, so we got Bold, Cold-Blooded, aka we're going to get Ruthless across the force here when needed. So then we got a couple other ones. So he's got Terror, Tough, and God's Blessing, or the Devil's Luck. So we'll start with that one next. So basically giving us a 4th fortune point, which is huge. So we got 3 command points for fortune. We can spend a little bit more aggressively on the fortune points, which will be helpful at different points in the game for us. So never say no to that ability. Generally just see that on some of the high-end characters or most famous or infamous ones out there. So good to have that as well. So then we move to the end here with Terror and Tough. Terror is a nice one. It's kind of hit or miss sometimes, but it's nice when it works, right? He's so famous and terrifying that he's, well, a terror. So at the beginning of the battle, each enemy unit has to take a resolve test on a D10. No other like mods or anything like that. And then basically if it's failed, they get a point of fatigue as normal. So it's not going to be necessarily game breaking, but it's annoying to the enemy because that one accumulated fatigue, sure, you could ignore it, but then as soon as contact happens, maybe they take another point of fatigue. Now that's affecting their actions. Maybe they take a couple, now they're shaken already, right? So, or they're going to have to spend time using like a rally action to hopefully get rid of that. And it's just a neat little way to disrupt the enemy and kind of be a nuisance as well. But if you can combine that with actions where we can be on the enemy relatively soon, and anybody that's failed, if we can very quickly start applying fatigue right from the outset of the game, that's just going to really disrupt the enemy's plans and maybe even just cause a few units to shake and not really recover from that. So good stuff there. Then finally, Tough, as you might expect. He was infamously tough as well before he finally was killed. But basically, if his unit ends an activation with any amount of fatigue and it didn't push or gain fatigue during the activation, it may remove a point of fatigue at the end of its activation. So all designed to really, with careful use, keep his unit in the fight as long as possible, as long as we're not, going too heavy on casualties taken in the unit. We can keep them running at optimal efficiency here without having to waste other resources on getting rid of fatigue. So worth managing all in all there. Now, what also makes him special is because we're more likely than not going to be fighting some naval battles with him at some point. He has a special ship as well. So if we include a 6th-rate frigate with at least 20 cannons, reserved for some bigger games, but it ignores the deck gun's ship trait. Additionally, it gains the improved rig, additional sails, and freshly careened hull ship traits at no cost. So if you factor in that he's already very much a badass here, just with his stats and abilities, But we basically get to sort of pimp my ride, a 6th rate frigate here, with all these extra special rules that we're not paying for. Although, again, we are having to invest in 20 cannons. So just keep that in mind. But cool nonetheless, right? It's just, one of the most famous pirates ever. So we're going to give him everything that he should have. Now, if you wanted to run him as a fighting man, then he's just Edward Teach, and he could be in the Brits or in just a pirate force as well. So it's pretty neat to say, like, hey, I'm playing British, but I've also actually including Blackbeard, but at this point, still Edward Teach. So he can only go into pirates and sea dogs units, cannot be included in a force commanded by Edward Blackbeard Teach. Obviously, can't be in there twice. But even here, just as this character, 3-inch command range, 1 command point. He's got bold, cold-blooded, and tough. So basically has some of his abilities from up above and has that here. So really cool stuff. And for 10 points, right? Obviously, it's a chunk of points for just an upgrade character, but that's already pretty dang cool as well. And whatever unit he joins for that will be much more potent. So now, it would have been cool to have like maybe some sort of like one-off rule or something like that. That like if he dies, he has like a small chance to like come back, because it infamously took a whole lot of damage for him to finally go down. So would be neat to have something like that. But oh well, that's all right. He's still very, very cool, very well worth taking. Question is, do you feel like he is a better fit in the Golden Age Pirates or in his own custom force? Let us know in the comments, guys. If you've run him in both, where you feel he's better, or if you've come up against Blackbeard, how did that go? Was he worth it on your side, or did he make that big of a difference when you were going up against him? Were you able to take the man down? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.